A franchise I've been thinking about a lot recently is the Super Mario franchise. I don't have a clear reason why, I just have a strange instinct that we're getting a new 3D Mario game soon. It's like a cold breeze on your arm before winter starts. I just feel it happening. I mean, after all, the last 3D Mario game was released back in 2017. That was how many years ago? Okay, give me a second. Almost 4 years ago. Whew, you feel that? It's called age. Move it or lose it, Grandpa. Anyway, since it's almost been 4 years, I think it's safe to start speculating about the next 3D Mario game. So going into this, it's obviously speculation and nothing that I talk about is confirmed. It's all just one big discussion about plumbers jumping around hitting things. Except this discussion will be about a specific type of a 3D Mario game. One that has not exactly been seen before. Of course, if you read the title, I'm talking about an open world Mario game. We've seen some possible hints at it recently, and I think it's fair to give the topic a little bit more attention. So without much else to say, let's get into how and what an open world Mario game would be. First, before we start getting into the meat of the topic, we need to talk about the idea of an open world Mario game. Like, why open world and why is it possible? Well, for starters, open world's just cool, bro. Do you need more reasoning than that? But not only is it cool, it seems very likely for Mario with all things considered. First of all, after Breath of the Wild, open world games are in high demand right now. The genre is being enjoyed by a lot of people right now, so why not see what Mario can do with an open world? And that takes us to the big, ginormous, massive elephant in the room. Bowser's Fury. This is the main reasoning as to why an open world Mario game being in the works is plausible. Pretty much Bowser's Fury is an add-on to 3D World, which is basically an open world Mario game. However, since it's an add-on, it's not as crazy as Mario's normal 3D adventures. Don't get me wrong, it's still awesome, but it's a little restricted in a way. For one, it's advertised as an add-on, so it's not being sold as the next big Mario game. And then it's also pretty short compared to every other 3D Mario game. Like, I was getting footage for this video and I beat the game within 3 hours, so that should go to show what this game is like. On top of that, the game doesn't really go far out of its setting. You're in this ocean area exploring structures. There is no desert level, it's just one setting. Now, everything I'm mentioning could be seen as critiques, but if I'm being honest with you, this is one of the best add-ons ever made for a video game. But it feels like a test for an open world formula. I feel like there's too much being left on the table for an open world Mario game because Bowser's Fury doesn't even scratch the surface of possibilities. I just don't see Nintendo leaving this much potential behind. It's not in their blood. They can do so much more with this idea, and I think they know that. So hopefully after the success of Bowser's Fury, that they actually decide to make an open world Mario game with this untapped potential. But what could we possibly see in that untapped potential? What are some ideas or wishes for an open world Mario game? Well, you're kinda watching this video, so I'm kinda obligated to tell you my wishes. So let's just get into it. What's the most important thing about an open world game? Why the map, of course. Now, when talking about an open world game, we have to acknowledge how challenging it is to make a map of large size. You want to make a map that gives you as much freedom as possible while also not being too empty at the same time. If you're wandering around the map aimlessly and no events are taking place, you're most likely going to become bored. So to fix that, we need to have events taking place all over the map, especially for Mario's case. You see, Mario has always had a zero wait time policy in his games. There is barely any time where you aren't doing something substantial. You can really see this when you take in how simple of a story 3D Mario games actually have. They ain't got time for that. So in this game, we definitely need there to be exciting level design and events around every corner of the map. Luckily, Bowser's Fury has this under cover because every part of the map serves a purpose. The only wait time you experience in this game is when you have to wait for Bowser to return, and it's unfortunately the worst part of the game. Hopefully that kind of stuff doesn't return, but I don't think it will. Nintendo had to have learned their lesson from that game. So there you go, all's right in the world, right? Well, not completely. Considering that this open world Mario game will be a lot bigger than Bowser's Fury, we need to talk about what setting it'll have and how it'll affect the map. And you know, one thing that kinda looked off to me in Bowser's Fury was how some locations just looked unnatural. Don't get me wrong, most areas looked just fine and blended with the world just fine, but there was some that were like, okay, come on man, you could have done better than that. I'm not asking for the map to not have unnatural platforms, because that's just stupid, we're playing a Mario game after all. But what I want to see is the platforms look like they belong in the environment a bit more. Some games that have done this well are Super Mario Odyssey and Super Mario Sunshine. Super Mario Sunshine being the best example. The levels in Super Mario Sunshine are very creative on how they handle platforming. Instead of making you platform on random structures, you are platforming on the natural environments around you. But on top of everything, Super Mario Sunshine makes the world feel a lot more believable. For example, when playing a level, you can see the previous or future levels off in the distance, and it all looks natural. I never felt like the towns off in the distance were out of place for the environment. Blending the environment like that really makes the world feel alive. However, in Bowser's Fury, I just see weird structures. But I will say that Bowser's Fury's level design is pretty dang good. So if we could get a cool blend of Super Mario Sunshine and Bowser's Fury's levels with extra biomes scattered all around the map, that would be sick. You could also make a blend between Bowser's Fury and Super Mario Odyssey's levels, but we'll get back to that in a bit. We need to take care of other matters first, such as the progression. So actually with progression, it goes hand in hand with the map because they both directly influence each other. The reason why is because open world games' only level is the open world. This could be pretty tricky because some players could walk to the other end of the map and explore parts of the map that are much more challenging than the starting place. Bowser's Fury prevented this by locking certain parts of the map behind cat shines. This means that you will always see the difficulty go up naturally in Bowser's Fury. It never really has a crazy spike of challenge, it's actually pretty smooth. So should they do this again with a new open world game? Well, honestly, maybe they should remove restricting the player. I think they should make a goal for the player, something like a requirement of 80 stars to reach the final boss area. Now with that, I believe it would be best if it was up to the player on how they reach that goal. Letting the game be completely open is tons of replayability, and it also just gives so much choice to the player. It's very similar to one of the best games of all time. I just can't really put my finger on it. Now, something I want to add to this is some changes to the difficulty. With Super Mario Odyssey, it was very easy, and if you know me, I don't like it when a game hands me things. In Super Mario Odyssey, I never got the overwhelming amounts of satisfaction that I did with Galaxy or 64. There is still satisfaction to be had, but it doesn't feel like an achievement when I get a star. In Bowser's Fury, it wasn't too hard, but it also wasn't Super Mario Odyssey levels of easy. The cat shines actually did take a lot more work than Odyssey, and in return, it was a lot more satisfying. Honestly, I would take this any day over what we previously had. I just don't want to go back to Odyssey levels of difficulty, because honestly, that ain't it, Chief. Overall though, if this was to happen, I think it might be my favorite Mario game right behind Super Mario 64. It just sounds like such a good time, and it just sounds like my kind of game. Even if they don't do the things I discussed in this video, I feel like Nintendo's going to make an open world Mario game work one way or another. So either way, I feel like concept alone, I'm going to love this game to death. Okay, but now we're going to move on to something that might be a far reach, but honestly, I think it's possible. Okay, so this part of the video is where we get really experimental with the ideas. So what if the next Mario game was Super Mario Odyssey 2? Now that's cool and all, but what if Super Mario Odyssey 2 had an open world? Now if you ask me, that's pretty awesome. But what does it mean to have Super Mario Odyssey 2 be open world? Well, it can mean multiple things. First of all, much like the open world formula for Mario, Super Mario Odyssey still has tons of potential. Odyssey really doubled down on the collectathon formula, which has never really been done by Mario before. So why not slap two great ideas together to make a potential spaghetti sandwich? It seems like a pretty dang good idea, so now I'm going to get into some ideas I have for a Super Mario Odyssey sequel. Number 1. They could make an open world game just like Bowser's Fury, but with Cappy. So pretty much the idea that I talked about earlier, but with all the new cool tricks that Cappy brings to platforming. I loved Cappy so much, and I genuinely think it's a grade A example on how to implement a game-changing gimmick. So you know, I wouldn't mind it coming back. Cappy is the best Mario gimmick. If you disagree, I will challenge you to a battle with fisticuffs. Number 2. They could make a giant open world built around the Super Mario Odyssey level design and Power Moon structure. And it would be a lot easier to blend the environments with the platforming because Super Mario Odyssey has that down on fleek. Now, I wouldn't prefer this, but it would still be pretty awesome. It would also be cool because Super Mario Odyssey has always had a sort of adventure feeling to it. I mean, it literally says Odyssey in the title. You can't get more adventure-y than that. So maybe a game based around adventure would be well suited for an open world game. And the biomes don't even have to be the typical stuff. Instead of snow biomes and sand biomes, we could have sections of the world that are from the original Super Mario Odyssey, along with new places. Like imagine you just found a new environment that has never been seen before in a Mario game, and then on the other side of the map you can find a new side of New Donk City. Because let's be honest here, New Donk City is awesome. You gotta put it in the sequel somewhere. Or something equally as good as New Donk City, like that place is iconic. Now, if I was able to do that in Super Mario Odyssey 2, I would actually flip. That's some crazy stuff, and I mean, it's your move, Nintendo. It will always ultimately be up to Nintendo to make an open world Mario game. At the end of the day, it's not confirmed that we're getting an open world Mario game. It's not confirmed that we're getting Super Mario Odyssey 2. Nintendo could throw the biggest curveball at us and give us Super Mario Sunshine 2. I don't know why they would do that, but if they really wanted to, they could. So either way, Mario's awesome, and that's all you gotta worry about. Anyways, that's all I have to say today, so tell me your thoughts down below. I want to hear them, I want to read them, I want to experience them. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe to help the channel out. I'd really appreciate it, and you'd be kind of a cool guy. And while you're at it, come join the Mobius Zone Discord server to come hang out with a sea of excellent individuals. With that being said, I love you guys. Yakuza 0 is awesome. Adios. My channel members are Snicks, Saint, Sonic Hub, Thomas One Ride, Chip Chap Chop, Scape, Virtuous Azon, Sonic Pip, Daffy the Duck, Azure Sonic, Rubik Dash, JNXV, Crash D00D, The Squeaker Nerd, Super Shax Boom, Sonic Extreme, Super Saiyan Sonic, and Sonic Fan. Thank you all for supporting me. I can never repay you guys. You guys went out your way to help me. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys. Adios.